Hey there, I'm Frank Mitchell. On this channel, it's all about helping you understand your car and keeping it running the way it should. Whether it's routine maintenance or solving those tricky problems, I've got you covered. If you find this useful, give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to watch till the end. You might learn something that saves you time and money. All right, let's get started.
The coronavirus, the new virus discovered in China at the end of December, is causing a serious world disorder in the automotive industry has not been left out of this new disease that, although it has a low mortality rate, is creating a certain psychosis in the population. In the last few hours there have been many news items that are transforming the automotive world. If at the end of January the world alert sounded with the cancellation of the Mobile World Congress, now the same has happened with the suspension of the Geneva Motor Show or the first date of the MotoGP World Championship. Added to this is the news that some factories are starting to stop production for fear of a massive contagion. This stoppage will result in lower production. For this reason, and although the evolution of the situation is unpredictable, we are going to analyze here how the coronavirus is affecting the automotive industry to know what may happen in the coming days. Geneva Motor Show cancelled. Last Friday, February 28th, just a few hours before the start of the Geneva Motor Show, we received the news of its cancellation. This time, moreover, the cancellation did not come from the organization, but from the Swiss government. Hours before, and due to the coronavirus outbreak, the authorities had banned in Switzerland massive events where more than 1,000 people could gather. As a result of this decision, both the organization of the Motor Show and the Swiss Fairgrounds, Palexpo, were forced to take the decision to suspend this new edition, which would be the 90th. We regret the situation, but the health of all participants is our priority and that of our exhibitors, said the organizers in a statement. The cancellation of this show means that more than 200 exhibitors will not be able to announce nearly 100 new products, dozens of them world premieres. Although these launches will not take place at the Swiss show, many of the manufacturers will continue with their presentation agenda. But they will do so digitally. Nearly 10,000 journalists were accredited for the Geneva Motor Show, and it was estimated that almost 700,000 people would attend to learn about the main innovations. We are talking about launches such as the BMW i4, the Audi A3 or the next cheap electric car from Dacia. This has also meant a setback for all the brands that had confirmed their presence: Kia, BMW, Fiat, Honda, Mercedes-Benz, Seat, Toyota, Audi, Skoda, Hyundai, Rolls-Royce, DS Automobiles, Fiat, Alfa Romeo, Mazda, Renault or Volkswagen, and that had invested huge amounts of money in this show. Now it will be the turn of the law firms to see how they can recover part of the investment made. Plant shutdowns. The shutdown of production in factories for fear of contagion is another of the great fears of the coronavirus in the automotive industry. In fact, some plants have stopped production and sent their workers home, as some cases have appeared among the workers. In this regard, for example, in Spain an ERTE, Expedient de Regulación de Empleo, is already being considered at Volkswagen Navarra, the plant where the Volkswagen Polo and the Volkswagen T-Cross are manufactured. The plant's management could be studying the possibility of carrying out this ERTE of a preventive nature. Hyundai, in this sense, has been forced to stop production at one of its plants in South Korea after a case of coronavirus among its employees. In addition, many plants, mainly in China, had already delayed the start of production after the Chinese New Year vacations. Lower sales. Along with lower production, the coronavirus could also lead to a reduction in car sales. According to forecasts by the rating agency Standard & Poor's, global passenger car sales will fall by around 3.6% compared to 2019. In this regard, if in 2019 a total of 90.3 million units were marketed, for this year about 87 million units are expected. This drop, together with the coronavirus, is also due to the decline in the Chinese market, where a 5% decline is expected. However, according to Standard & Poor's, it is more than likely that in the first quarter sales will plummet by up to 35% and then stabilize in the second quarter. In this regard, they also point out that the Chinese government could encourage sales. Problems at Jaguar Land Rover. One of the affected manufacturers would be Jaguar Land Rover, as the British manufacturer that produces about 400,000 vehicles a year. In the UK is starting to have supply problems. So much so that, as announced a few days ago by the BBC, Jaguar Land Rover was forced to send part of the parts it manufactures in China through huge suitcases in order to travel by plane to the UK. If this continues, in fact, Jaguar Land Rover could have production problems this March. Stock market falls. Regardless of how this situation evolves, the major car companies have already had major setbacks on the stock market in recent days. For example, Tesla fell in the last week by nearly 23% on the Nasdaq. For its part, Toyota dropped nearly 10% on the Nikkei index, while Volkswagen also did the same, with a drop of nearly 7.5%. Conclusion. What happens in the automotive industry in the coming weeks or months will depend on how the disease evolves. If a vaccine is found in the short term or the cases start to subside, it will return to normal. However, if this worsens, parts shortages will begin, some factories will stop, infected people will arrive at the plants and these will have to close, and sales will slow down, which will force the brands to restructure. In short, these are turbulent times for the automobile industry, times of uncertainty that we hope will recover for the good of all. Since it is an industry in full transformation, both in terms of propulsion systems, from the combustion engine to the electric motor, as well as the different consumer habits of users. In conclusion, the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on the automotive industry has been profound and multifaceted. From significant disruptions in supply chains to shifts in consumer behavior, manufacturers are navigating unprecedented challenges. As we move forward, the industry is adapting by embracing new technologies and exploring innovative business models. While the road to recovery may be long, the resilience and adaptability of the automotive sector will play a crucial role in shaping its future. Thank you for watching, and stay informed as we continue to monitor these developments.